The courtroom was cold and silent. Giant screens showed the faces of alien leaders from 10 different planets. Their eyes were filled with anger and judgment. They were not here for a trial. Decision had already been made. Humans were guilty. The lead alien, tall and blue-skinned with sharp silver eyes, stood. His voice was deep and full of power. Humanity, he said, is too dangerous. You fight too much. You destroy your own world. You never stop. Alex Reeves stood inside a glass box. He was tall, quiet, and calm, even now. His hands were chained, his uniform dirty. He looked at the alien council with cold eyes. He did not speak. Beside him stood Captain Lynn Mara, a soldier with a scar over one eye. She clenched her fists as the sentence was read. You are hereby exiled, the alien leader said. All humans will be sent to Khazar 7, the deadliest planet in the known galaxy. There is no return. Gasps echoed through the room. Khazar 7. Everyone knew the name. A wild, burning, storm-covered planet. No one had survived more than 3 days there. Lynn Mara shouted, You're sending us to die. The alien judge looked at her calmly. No, we are letting your kind meet a proper end, one you have earned. The sentence was final. Within hours, hundreds of human prisoners were loaded into transport ships. Soldiers, doctors, workers, scientists. Some were rebels, others just unlucky. But all of them were labeled the same, human threats. As the ships launched into deep space, Alex looked back once at Earth. The planet glowed blue and quiet. Far behind him, we'll come back, he whispered. Beside him, Lynn said nothing. She just stared ahead. The journey took 6 days. On the 7th day, the ship slowed. Warning lights turned red. Outside the windows, they saw it, Car ZAR-7. The planet was massive, glowing with storms. Its clouds were red and black. Lightning danced across the skies. Giant sandstorms moved like monsters across its surface. The pilot spoke one word. Arrival. Ship landed hard. The prisoners were thrown forward. When the doors opened, heat rushed in like fire. They stepped onto the surface. It was worse than anyone imagined. The ground was dry and cracked, with sharp black rocks everywhere. The air was thick, hard to breathe. The sky was dark even during the day. Strange roars echoed in the distance. A tall guard, one of the last non-human crew members, stepped forward. You have food for 3 days, water for 5, shelter packs. That is all. We turned and flew away. The humans were alone now. Some cried, others stood frozen. Alex looked at Lynn. We move now. She nodded. Southridge? Elevation? Better chance? The group began to walk. The wind pushed hard against them. Dust burned their skin. Every step felt like walking through fire. After an hour, a scream came from behind. A man had stepped on something. Looked like rock, but it wasn't. It opened like a mouth and pulled him in. Blood sprayed. He was gone in seconds. People panicked. Some ran. One woman fainted. Alex shouted, Stay together. You run, you die. That first night, they built a rough camp on a rocky hill. Attack. The shelter. Packs turned into small domes, but the wind still shook them. Lightning struck nearby, lighting the sky white for seconds. Inside the domes, people sat in silence. Lynn stared out through a small window. They meant for us to die fast. Alex said nothing. His eyes were closed, listening to the wind. But he knew something others did. This planet wasn't just deadly, it was alive. The second day they lost more people. One drank from a small pool of water they found. His skin melted in minutes. Another was taken by flying creatures with blades for wings. Alex, Lynn, and a scientist named Dr. Halen worked together. Halen was older, smart, and quiet. He spoke. Little, but his eyes never stopped moving. These plants are not native, Halen said. Someone's been here before. Lynn frowned. Possible. No one survives here. But Halen showed them proof. Old metal scraps hidden beneath rocks. Faded symbols scratched into stone. "Someone tried to live here once," he said. "Maybe they left something behind." That night, the group moved into a deeper cave system. Near the ridge, it was tight and dark, but safer. Alex placed guards at every entrance. Still, the sounds came scratching, breathing, clicking. On the third day, they found the first bones. Huge, twisted, some belonged to things they couldn't identify. But one skeleton was clearly human. Beside it, a metal cube, still glowing faintly. Alex picked it up. It hummed in his hand. "Technology," Halen whispered. "Old, but human." The cube contained a message, scrambled, but readable. "We tried. No help came. System broke. Too many died, but we learned. Not everything here wants. Us dead some just want, the rest was noise." Alex stared at the cube for a long time. Lynn leaned in. "What do we do?" He looked around at the tired faces, the wounded, the ones losing hope. "We survive," he said. "We build. We adapt. We fight." Lynn nodded. "Even here." Alex's voice was steady. "Especially here." Far above them, in space, the alien council watched in silence. One said, "They will not last the week." Another replied, "They will destroy themselves, like always." But the leader, the one with silver eyes, stared at the screen. He zoomed in on Alex Reeve, leading a team through burning winds. Carrying 2 injured on his back, the alien leader frowned. "Perhaps," he said slowly, "we underestimated them again." Back on Khazar 7, lightning split the sky. In the cave, humans huddled, hungry, tired, frayed. But outside, Alex stood watch, eyes sharp, rifle ready, and deep under the ground. Something ancient stirred, not enemy, not friend, just watching, waiting. The sun never really rose on Khazar 7. Thick red clouds blocked most of its light. The planet seemed to be trapped in a permanent twilight. The cold was sharp at night, and the burning heat came during the day. Inside the dark cave where the humans had taken shelter, the air was heavy and still. The small group huddled together, trying to stay warm and safe. But danger was close. Unseen Alex Reeves stood near the cave entrance, watching the storm outside. Lightning flashed, making strange shadows dance on the walls. His rifle was ready, but his mind was restless. Lynn Mara sat beside a small fire. She cleaned her scarred hands and looked tired. The others were quiet, afraid to speak. Dr. Halen studied the glowing cube they had found the day before. The message was still broken, but some words stood out. Survive, learn, and danger. Suddenly a scream shattered the silence. The group froze. Then another scream followed, closer this time. Alex grabbed his rifle and motioned for everyone to stay calm. "Stay inside," he ordered. "I'll check." He moved toward the cave entrance. Outside, the wind howled and sand whipped around him. Lightning lit the sky again. Alex saw a figure struggling in the storm. It was one of the younger men, Tom, who had left the group earlier to search for water. Tom was trapped under a heavy rock, bleeding badly. Alex rushed to him, pulling the rock away. "Hold on, Tom," Alex said, trying to keep calm. "We'll get you inside." Carrying Tom was hard. Duh. The wind pushed them both, and the sharp rocks cut their skin. Inside the cave, Dr. Halen quickly examined Tom's wounds. "He's lost a lot of blood," Halen said. "We need to stop the bleeding fast." Lynn helped by tearing her shirt to make bandages. Others brought water and tried to comfort Tom, but the wounds were deep. Tom's breathing grew shallow. Alex looked at the others. "We can't lose anyone, not yet." Night fell again. Storm outside raged, but inside the cave, the humans fought a different battle against fear and despair. Suddenly, a strange sound came from deeper in the cave. It was soft at first, like whispering. Rika, one of the youngest, stood up. "Did you hear that?" The group listened. The whispering grew louder, turning into low clicking noises. Dr. Halen frowned. "This planet is alive. It's trying to communicate or warn us." Alex tightened his grip on his rifle. Or it's hunting us. The next day, Tom died. The group buried him quickly outside the cave under the red sky. The loss hit them hard. Tears came silently, but eyes stayed strong. "We have to keep moving," Alex said. "If we stay here, we die." Lynn nodded. "We need a plan." Dr. Halen studied the planet's strange plants and rocks.
Oh.
There is life here, but it's different. Some things are dangerous. Others may help. He showed them a small green plant that glowed faintly. This could heal wounds, but we must be careful. Alex gathered the group. We split into teams. Some search for food and water. Others explore for shelter. We watch each other's backs. The group faced sandstorms, strange beasts with glowing eyes, cold nights that stole their breath. But they also found small signs of hope, underground springs, shelter in giant caves, and plants that seemed to grow in the dark. One evening, as the group rested, a low rumble shook the ground. Alex looked outside. A massive sandstorm was coming fast, faster than any before. "Get ready to move," he shouted. The humans packed what they could carry. The storm was like a wall of fire and wind. Pushing them back, Alex led the group through the chaos, his voice loud over the roaring wind. Some stumbled, some fell, but they never stopped. After what felt like hours, they reached a rocky plateau. The storm passed, leaving silence and broken land. Lynn looked around. "We survived," Alex smiled faintly. "We will survive." But deep beneath the rocks, something watched. The planet was far from done testing them. The night was darker than usual. The thick red clouds covered the sky, blocking the weak light of Khazar 7's distant sun. The cave was quiet except for the low breaths of the tired humans inside. Alex sat near the entrance, staring into the dark. The glowing cube from the ancient message was in his hand. It hummed softly, like it was alive. Suddenly a soft whisper echoed through the cave. It was almost like voices, faint and unclear. Lynn stood up, her eyes sharp. "Did you hear that?" Others nodded. The whispers grew louder, but no one could understand the words. Dr. Halen studied the plants and rocks around the cave. "This planet speaks in ways we don't know. We must listen carefully." The humans decided to explore deeper into the cave system, hoping to find shelter and answers. As they moved through the narrow tunnels, the whispers followed them. Shadows flickered along the walls, strange shapes that seemed to move on their own. Alex kept his rifle ready, but he felt something strange. The whispers were not always hostile. Sometimes they seemed like warnings. Suddenly, the group reached a large chamber filled with glowing crystals. The light was soft and blue, calming. Lynn touched one of the crystals. These might be energy sources. Dr. Halen examined the walls. The aliens who came here left these crystals. They may help us survive. As they gathered crystals to take back, the whispers turned angry. The shadows on the walls grew darker, twisting into shapes like claws and eyes. Alex shouted, "Run!" The group raced back through the tunnels. The shadows chased them, reaching out like living smoke. Outside the cave, the sun was rising. Red sky was still stormy, but the light brought relief. They looked back. The cave entrance was quiet again. That night, the humans noticed strange marks on their skin, faint glowing lines that weren't there before. Rika touched her arm in surprise. "What is happening to us?" Dr. Halen looked worried. "The planet is changing us. It's alive in ways we can't fully understand." Alex knew the fight for survival was no longer just about hunger or storms. The planet itself was part of the battle. As days passed, the glowing lines spread on their skin. The humans gained strange new senses, sharper hearing, better sight in the dark, and a connection to the planet's energy. But with the gifts came risks. Some people felt pain, headaches, or fear that was not their own. Lynn fought hard to keep the group together. "We are changing, but we are still human. We will not lose ourselves." One night, the glowing cube in Alex's hand activated fully. A clear message played. "We are the first. We lived here. We fought to keep the darkness sealed. Now you carry our power. Use it wisely." Alex looked at the others. This planet chose us for a reason. We are not alone. The humans prepared for what was next. The planet's mysteries were deep. So was their will to survive. The humans had survived the planet's storms, the deadly creatures, and even the strange changes in their bodies. But survival was only the beginning. Alex and Lynn led the group as they searched for more shelter and resources. The glowing crystals had given them new strength, but they knew the planet held deeper secrets and dangers. One day, while exploring a narrow valley, they found something unexpected: a crashed alien ship. It was old, covered in dust and strange moss. The hull was cracked, and smoke still rose from inside. The group approached carefully. Inside, they found alien survivors weak and wounded. These aliens were different from those who had judged humans long ago. They looked tired and scared. Alex stepped forward. "Who are you? Why are you here?" The alien leader, a tall creature with silver skin and tired eyes, spoke in a broken human language. "We escaped. Our world was destroyed by the same darkness that lives here." Lynn lowered her weapon. "You mean the planet? The power beneath it?" The alien nodded. "Yes, we tried to contain it, but it broke free. We thought we could hide. Dr. Halen studied the ship's data. Your technology could help us survive. But we can't trust you," Alex said. "You left us to die here." The alien leader looked down. "We had no choice. The darkness forced us away. But now we must fight together." The humans debated. Some wanted to attack the aliens. Others feared betrayal. Lynn stood firm. "We have a greater enemy. If we fight each other, we lose everything." Slowly, the humans and aliens agreed to work together. They shared knowledge, supplies, and stories. The aliens showed how to use advanced weapons and shields. Humans taught the aliens about Earth and human strength. But old wounds ran deep. One night, a group of humans overheard the aliens speaking in secret. They planned to take control of the group once the darkness was defeated. Fear spread. Alex confronted the alien leader. "Are you hiding something?" The alien looked sad. "We want to survive like you, but our people are desperate. We will do what it takes." Lynn warned the group. "We must watch both the planet and each other." Tension grew. Meanwhile, the darkness beneath the planet stirred again. Strange tremors shook the ground. The glowing crystals flickered. The uneasy alliance faced a new test. The ground shook harder every day. The wind felt heavier, like it carried voices. Something was changing on Khazar 7. Something old was waking up. Alex stood at the edge of a canyon, staring at the cracks that had opened in the valley floor. Glowing red light leaked from deep below. The planet was alive and angry. Lynn joined him. "We're running out of time. The energy under the surface, it's waking up." Dr. Halen studied a strange device they had recovered from the crashed alien ship. It glowed with the same light as the crystals. "This wasn't made to escape," Halen said. "It was made to seal something in." The alien leader confirmed it. "Long ago, we found this planet. A powerful force was trapped inside it. We built a prison over it, then we left. But when humans were sent here, the prison began to break." Clenched his fists. "So we're not just exiles. We're the key to unlocking the nightmare." The cracks spread. Strange creatures crawled out of them, made of black smoke and light, with empty eyes. They didn't hunt for food. They hunted for fear. One attacked a nearby camp. Humans and aliens. They fought together, bullets and plasma fire lighting the dark. Rika, the young engineer, nearly died. A shadow creature sliced her side, but Lynn pulled her to safety just in time. "We need to stop this," Lynn said, "or there won't be anyone left to fight." Dr. Halen unlocked more of the alien device. It showed a map deep beneath the planet's surface on Old Chamber. "It's the heart of the prison. That's where it sleeps," he said. "We have to reach it. Seal it before it fully wakes." But the alliance was crumbling. Some humans wanted to escape using the alien ship. Others wanted to stay and fight. The aliens argued too. Some were afraid of what might be in that chamber. Alex stood in front of both sides. "We didn't ask to come here," he said, "but we're here now. If we run, this thing spreads to the stars. If we fight, we have a chance to stop it forever." His words lit a fire in the group. They agreed to move together one last mission. Into the heart of the planet, That night, the whispers returned, but this time they spoke clearly. You opened the door? Now you must face what sleeps behind it. As the team prepared to descend into the deep, Alex felt the ground pulse beneath. His boots, the awakening had begun. The ground was no longer still. Khazar 7 shook every few hours now. The red lightning cracked harder, and the sky had turned a darker shade of black. The air smelled like burning stone and ashdot. Alex stood with his team at the edge of a massive crater. It hadn't been there a day ago. It had opened overnight. Like the planet had torn its skin open to show what was hidden underneath. Below the edge, they saw what they had feared, a wide tunnel, ancient and smooth, glowing with a faint blue light. It led down into darkness. This is it, Dr. Halen whispered. This leads to the core chamber. Lynn looked at Alex. We sure we're doing this? Alex didn't answer right away. He was staring at the deep pit. Felt it too. Pull, the cold sensation crawling up his spine. We have to, he finally said. This thing, it won't stop. It'll break out and go beyond this planet. It has to end here. The group that would descend into the depths was small. Just 13 people. 6 humans, including Alex, Lynn, Dr. Halen, Rika, and 2 trained fighters. And 7 aliens from the crashed ship, including their leader Vorsk. Each of them carried gear, plasma rifles, light generators, rations, translation units, and sensor packs. Rika also carried the ancient sealing device, a metal cube with alien script that pulsed faintly with white light. Once we reach the prison chamber, she said this needs to be activated manually. Close. The energy field will collapse. The core and seal it shut. What happens to the one who activates it? Asked Lynn. Rika paused. Then, there's no escape after that. It's a one-way trip. No one spoke. Then Alex stepped forward and took the device from her. I'll do it, he said. Lynn looked at him sharply. No, we'll figure something else out. But he didn't argue. He just looked down into the crater. Let's move. They began the descent. The tunnel was smooth, impossibly wide. Its walls were lined with dark metal and stone, shaped by hands long gone. Glowing vines pulsed like veins in the walls, giving off cold blue light. Hours passed as they moved deeper. The temperature dropped, their breath turned into frost. Some parts of the tunnel had collapsed, forcing them to climb over sharp rocks, or wade through glowing pools of strange liquid. At one point, they came across a skeleton. It was not human. The bones were long and curved. With extra limbs and a wide skull, Dr. Halen examined it. This one died running. From what? I don't know. But whatever it was fast. They kept moving. Later, a strange mist filled the passage. Everyone froze when they heard voices. Not from the front or behind, but inside their own minds. You shouldn't be here. Turn back. You carry light, but you walk into the dark. Alex shook his head. Keep going. It's trying to break us. One of the aliens, a tall warrior named Cray, began to panic. Ah! He muttered to himself and tried to run back. 2 others stopped him. Lynn slapped him across the face. Stay together, she shouted. Fear is what it wants. Then, suddenly, they entered a chamber. It was massive, hundreds of meters across. A black sphere floated in the center, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. It was covered in ancient chains made of light, wrapped tight around it like a cage. The moment they stepped in, everything changed. Time slowed. Voices screamed inside their heads. Each person saw something different. A memory, fear, a face. They'd lost. Alex saw Earth. Not the real one, but a ruined version. Oceans boiling. A sky full of black fire. Lynn saw her younger brother, who had died in the riots before the exile. He reached for her with burning hands. Rika dropped to her knees. Her skin glowed, the lines on her arms burning brighter. The prison is failing. She whispered, It's almost out. The alien leader Vorsk looked at the chains. We don't have long. We need to activate the seal now. Alex took out the device. He stepped forward, one slow step at a time, moving toward the black sphere. As he moved, the darkness tried to reach him. It wasn't a monster in the usual way. It had no clear shape, no teeth, no claws, but it had a voice. "You've already failed," it said. "Your people are broken. You fight each other. You kill your own." Alex kept walking. "You are like me," it whispered. "Chaos, fire, rage." He stopped a few feet from the core. The chains were pulsing. Cracks had begun to spread across them. The black sphere beat faster. He raised the device. Suddenly, something struck him from behind. It was one of the human soldiers taken over, possessed. His eyes were black, his voice twisted. "They don't deserve to live," the possessed man said. "Let the world burn," Alex struggled. Lynn shot the man, but it was too late. Alex had dropped the device, and it rolled toward the edge. Vorsk dove for it and caught it just before it fell into the pit. "I'll finish it," he shouted. But before he could rise, a tendril of black light pierced through his chest. Vorsk fell, holding the device out with trembling hands. Alex grabbed it. "Now," Rika shouted. "Activate it." Alex slammed the cube into the base of the chamber. Light exploded. A white field shot out across the room. The black sphere screamed, not in sound, but in feeling. Everyone felt it in their minds. A deep, ancient rage being torn apart. The chains began to rebuild. New lines of energy spun around the sphere, tightening. Pulling it inward, Alex stood at the center, holding the cube steady. "You are not our end," he whispered. "We are more than what you see." The light swallowed him, then dashed silence. The room went still. The black sphere was gone. The chains were quiet. The prison was sealed, but Alex was gone. The others stood in stunned silence. Lynn dropped to her knees. He did it. Rika walked to the center. Nothing remained but the cube, now burned black. Dr. Halen whispered. "He saved more than just us. He saved everything." It climbed back up. The tunnel was quieter now. The ground didn't shake anymore. The storm outside had ended. When they reached the surface, the sky had changed. The red clouds had thinned. A blue light, real sunlight, broke through for the first time. The planet was still dangerous, but it no longer felt cursed. It felt calm, alive, free. The sun rose for the first time on KAZAR-7. Real sunlight, it broke through the red clouds slowly, touching the sharp mountains and cracked valleys with gold. The sky was still stained with the planet's strange energy, but it was clear now. Peaceful Lynn stood at the edge of the ridge, silent. Her skin still carried the glowing lines, marks left by the planet itself, but now they didn't hurt. They pulsed softly like breathing. Alex was gone, but his sacrifice had saved them all. Below her, survivors worked quietly. Humans and aliens side by side, rebuilding what was left, setting up shelters, digging new water channels, repairing broken equipment. They were no longer prisoners. They were settlers now. Khazar-7, the deadliest planet in the galaxy, had changed, but it hadn't forgotten. 2 weeks had passed since the prison core had been sealed. The storms had died. The creatures that once hunted them had disappeared or simply gone quiet. It was like the planet had exhaled after holding its breath for centuries. Dr. Halen stood beside Lynn, watching a group of workers build a solar array from the wrecked alien ship. "This place feels different," he said, "like it's healing." Lynn nodded. Alex said it wasn't just a planet, it was something more, maybe alive. Halen frowned. "If it is alive, we have to ask, what does it want now?" Later that day, Rika brought news. "We found something," she said. "A structure, about 20 kilometers north." Lynn raised an eyebrow. "What kind of structure?" "It's not natural," Rika said. "It's old, built with the same stone we saw in the prison core. But it's above ground. A tower." Lynn gathered a small team, Rika, Halen, and 2 soldiers. They set out the next morning. The journey was hard. The ground was still broken in places, and strange winds swept across the land like invisible waves. No more whispers. It was almost too quiet. On the second day, they reached it. The tower stood alone in the desert, tall and dark, made of black stone with alien symbols carved deep into the surface. It had no door, no windows, just a narrow slit at the bottom wide enough for a person to enter. Halen scanned it. Same energy signature as the prison, but not sealed. Active. They went inside. The interior was cold and silent. The walls glowed with the same light they had seen deep underground, soft, white-blue, like a living heartbeat. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, and on that pedestal was something none of them expected. A human helmet. Lynn stepped closer, her breath caught. It was Alex's helmet. RIKA ran tests. It's real. It came from the core. But how? There was no body. No signs of a struggle. Only a message carved into the base of the pedestal in human writing. I'm still here. They stared at it in silence. Halen finally said he survived. Something survived with his voice. Lynn whispered, back. At the settlement, rumors spread quickly. People came to the tower. Some prayed. Others studied. Many believed Alex had become part of the planet now. His spirit merged with whatever force lived beneath its surface. The glowing marks on the survivors' bodies began to change, too. They started to sync with each other, pulsing together when people were close, glowing brighter during times of stress or danger. Dr. Halen called it planetary bonding, but he didn't understand it fully. One night, while Lynn sat by the tower alone, a soft voice filled the air. You did well. She stood up fast, hand on her weapon. Who's there? No answer. Then she saw it, a faint shape inside the tower. Just for a second, a silhouette, human. Her heart stopped. Alex. The shape faded. That night, she called a meeting with the remaining alien leaders and human commanders. This planet still holds secrets, she said. We need to understand it, not just survive it. Some agreed. Others feared what might still sleep beneath the surface. But all of them knew one thing for sure. They couldn't leave. The alien ship was beyond repair. Communications with the outside galaxy were impossible. No rescue was coming. This was home. Now, and it was watching them. The stars above Khazar 7 looked closer. Now brighter. It had been for months, since the prison deep beneath the planet was sealed. 4 months since Alex Reeve vanished into light to stop the darkness. And for months since the first sign appeared, his helmet. Placed gently on a pedestal inside a strange alien tower. The survivors had changed. Not just physically, though the glowing marks on their skin had grown stronger. Not just mentally. Though many could now feel each other's emotions without speaking, they had changed because the planet had changed, and now something was coming. Lynn stood alone at the edge of the canyon where it all began. The wind was quiet. The earth was still. But her heart wasn't every night since they found Alex's helmet. She had heard a sound, a whisper deep in the back of her mind. You are not finished. She didn't tell the others, not even Dr. Halen or Rika, not yet. Not until she was sure. That morning, everything changed. A blinding beam of light rose from the alien tower, shot into the sky, cutting through the clouds. It lasted for 30 full seconds. Humming with power, everyone saw it. Everyone heard the same thing, a single word, not spoken aloud, but echoing inside every mind. Prepare. Panic spread fast through the settlement. Some people cried. Others packed their things. Few tried to run, but there was nowhere to go. Lynn called a meeting. There's no danger, she said. It's not a weapon. It's a signal. To what? Someone asked. She didn't answer because she wasn't sure. Dr. Halen had an idea. The tower isn't just old tech. It's a beacon. It was waiting. And now it's sent. Something, or someone, Rika said quietly. Maybe it's calling Alex back. They waited. 3 days passed. Then, on the 4th night, the sky opened. A single ship appeared above the planet, silent, smooth, not like the ones that had brought them here. This one was dark silver shaped. Like a tear, and it hovered silently over the alien tower. It did not land, but it sent a message. Rika decoded it slowly. The message was not in any known language, but somehow it translated itself in her mind. She stood before the crowd and read it aloud. To the children of fire and ash, you have survived the trial. You have sealed what we could not. You're ready? You are not exiled anymore. You are chosen. No one moved. Then Lynn stepped forward. What does that mean? The ship responded with light. Images flooded their minds, fast, clear, and overwhelming. Other worlds, other prisons, other survivors. A war older than history. A force of destruction, not just darkness, but hunger. It had moved from world to world, infecting life, breaking balance. Khazar 7 was just one battleground, and now something had changed. Something in the humans. The light faded. The ship spoke one last time. Alex Reeve lives, not as before. He is with us. He waits for you. Your future is no longer here. Do you accept what you have become? The people stood in stunned silence. Then Lynn whispered, yes. Ship began to open, a soft light spilling out, forming a long ramp that reached down to the tower. One by one, the survivors approached. Some stepped back. Some refused, but most walked forward, not because they wanted to escape, but because they believed now. They were part of something greater. When Lynn reached the top of the ramp, she stopped. She turned one last time and looked at Khazar-7. The planet had tried. To kill them, it had shaped them. It had made them ready. She stepped inside, the ship closed. It rose without sound, and then it was gone. The sky returned to silence, and on the surface of Khazar 7, the wind whispered once more, not of death, but of purpose. Because the exiles had become something more. They were not just survivors. They were the beginning.